Senran Kagura has always been about cute, well-endowed anime girls kicking butt and taking names for the honor and glory of their shinobi schools. Initially introduced to the world as a story-driven combo-based brawler where battle damage is depicted as a provocative loss of clothing, every once in a while a new game takes a hard left turn. Senran Kagura Bon Appetit was a silly rhythm-based cooking competition a la Iron Chef, and in Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash, the characters traded in their katanas and shurikens for flashy bikinis and high-powered water guns. I've taught myself not to be surprised with whatever direction the franchise takes, but even I wasn't prepared for Senran Kagura to take on pinball. What's really crazy though is just how well Marvelous and Honey Parade Games adapted the most noteworthy elements of this infamously sexy series to the pinball table. You don't really have to know much about the world of Senran Kagura to get into Peach Ball. Granted, those who can name all of the mascot characters from each shinobi school are probably going to appreciate the character interactions. The threadbare plot, which is spread across all 5 characters, doesn't require much investment, and those looking to jump right in with lewd pinball are safe to skip it entirely. Otherwise, the story is laid across Haruka's mischievous shoulders, who has taken a part-time job managing a local arcade. A casual visit from some of the series' headline characters quickly goes awry after one of them accidentally spills one of Haruka's strange potions on herself and is then transformed into a human-animal hybrid. As the potion spreads to the other girls and turns them into animals, Haruka has no choice but to ask the players' help in bringing them back to normal. The only way to do this, of course, is to lure each girl on top of a pinball table and use a magical peach ball to bop them back to their human selves. This isn't the craziest direction Senran Kagura has taken, but it just might be a contender. It may not be Zen Pinball, but this game offers a pretty great recreation of the classic arcade game. Using a pair of flippers, you'll launch the ball all over the table and into tunnels, up ramps, and through special portals to rack up points, trigger special missions, and activate timed bonus events, like point modifiers and multi-balls to rack up even more points. Peach Ball emphasizes using the ball to return each of the characters to their normal human form, which is done by completing over a dozen different missions that pop up on the right side of the screen. Completing a mission initiates a sexy challenge that triggers when you strike the character sitting on the table with the pinball, sending her into a special room for an intimate minigame. These are short games that give you a handful of seconds to score massive points by striking objects like rubber ducks, a balloon pump, and a moving ice cream cart. When the timer reaches 0, you're treated to a short cutscene in which one of these objects provocatively attacks the girl, leaving them with torn clothing just like they do in the mainline games. Performing 3 of these sexy challenges unlocks a final super sexy challenge that, well, involves launching pinballs at the character's boobs or butt for a final push for points that ends with the character back to their human form, sans clothing. Yep, this is Senran Kagura, alright. All in all, this is actually the most fun I've had with Senran Kagura. Pinball is such a joy to me, slapping those paddles and watching the ball dance across the table as it bounces and smacks itself against bumpers and all of those other interactive bits. Peach Ball nails that joy in a way I didn't expect, while at the same time staying true to what makes this franchise so famous, or infamous. A character-driven story mode lets you play pinball to save the girls, experiencing the adventure from their own different perspectives. There's also a great free mode that lets you play the game without a story. Just pick the gal you want on the table and you're good to go. It is a real deep shame that there are only 2 tables available. By the time you've completed the story mode, you will have gotten really good and really bored with the same 2 table designs. The game's menu has links for DLC and the Nintendo eShop, so I begrudgingly expect to see new content to be made available for purchase at a later date. At least, that's what I hope. This game is too good and fun for it to languish because it didn't get updated with new table designs. No Senran Kagura title is complete without a dress-up mode and Peach Ball uses the exact same options and features as the last few games had, and it's kind of getting a bit old. Through continuous play, you'll earn money to purchase accessories and clothing options intended to customize the appearance of the girls as they appear in the game. There are also opportunities to score random items during play by activating a special one-of-a-kind minigame that offer rare items, like pictures and items and table art. The more you play, the more silly items such as dog ears, hat shaped like temples and ice cream carts, and pretty bows are added to your dress-up inventory. A diorama mode turns the girls into action figures that can be positioned in different poses by themselves or with other characters against different backdrops. And then there's the intimacy mode, which lets you get a little handsy as you guide disembodied robot hands to touch and caress the ninjas in a way that really doesn't sound creepy no matter how many times I try to record the sentence. The entire dress-up portion of the game isn't new if you followed previous Senran Kagura games, and while each new game in the franchise is probably someone's first, the content has gotten stale and in need of something fresh and new. Believe it or not, Senran Kagura Peach Ball is one of those you got chocolate in my peanut butter, you got peanut butter in my chocolate moments I don't really see often in video games. It takes the unapologetically lewd and silly nature of this goofy franchise and combines it with the thrill and unpredictable excitement that I love so much about pinball. DarkStation gives Senran Kagura Peach Ball a 4.5 stars.